Hello and welcome to the next Java session. In our last lecture, we had seen a history of Java and certain features of Java. Okay, so today we will move on with the same topic. Now, in the last class, I had told you that how to install Java if you do not have Java, or you have to identify where the Java is installed on the machine. Now in your textbooks you are using BlueJ to execute the Java, to run, compile and execute the Java programs. Over here I am not going to use BlueJ. I am going to show you how to set environment variables so that you can run Java programs on any machine where there is no BlueJ and only Java is installed on that machine. Okay, so now there are certain steps which you have to follow. First of all, you have to identify where your Java is installed. Okay, so here in my machine, my Java is installed in C drive, program files, and there is a folder that is Java. Okay, so you can see I have a folder JDK 1.8. This is a Java version which I'm having. So I should know this path of where my Java is installed. Okay, now what are the steps you have to do before starting writing your Java programs? Okay, so what you have to do is you have to set the environment variables. Okay, now what do you mean by environment variables? Now it is like you can save your Java programs on any folder, okay, in any folder, in any drive. Okay, but when you compile your Java program, you use a command to compile the Java programs, as well as to execute you use a command. So these commands, or the executables of these commands, are present in where your Java is installed. So you have to set the path of those particular commands. Okay, so for that we have to set the environment variables. Okay, so this is the name of the environment variable, path. Okay, and equal to, there is a value which you have to give. Okay, now what is the value? Mention the path where Java is installed till bin. Okay, this is till bin. Okay, so now in my case, my Java is installed in C colon, it is installed in C colon program files, Java, JDK, and then /bin. Okay, so I have to set this path first. Okay, then the next is set Java underscore home. Now this is also an environment variable. Okay, and you have to mention the Java's destination folder location. That is where your Java has been installed. Okay, now we will see how to do. First we will see how to set these variables. Now for setting the environment variables, you have to go to your My Computers and go to Properties. Here you have an option called as System Protection. Okay, now I am having Windows 7 over here. So you have to just go to your System Properties. Okay, whichever operating system you are having, in your control panel, System and Security, and System Properties. Okay, in this, then you will get this window. Okay, now in this window you have to go to Advanced section, and here you can see environment variables. Okay, so you click on that, and now my environment variables are already set. Now if you want to create a new environment variable, just click on New. Just give the name of the environment variable. That is what it is. The first variable we saw, path. Okay, and what is the value? You have to set the value till your bin folder where your Java is installed. Okay, now how do you get this? Now what you have to do is you have to go to your folder where Java is installed. Just click on this, program files, Java, JDK, and this is bin. Okay, just click on this bar which you can see here. Just right click it and copy. So there is like no chance of any errors or like copying mistake. Okay, just right click and copy, and go over here and right click and paste. Okay, and then put a semicolon. So in this way, what have I done? I have set my variable path, and this value I have set. And once you click on OK, the value will get set. So I'm having this path which has already been set. Okay, the next one was what? Java underscore home. So similarly, click on New, type here Java underscore home, and then you have to give the path of Java's destination folder. Okay, so you have to erase this bin and just till JDK, just till the JDK folder. Okay, and then click on OK. So here is my Java underscore home. Okay, and the next thing which we have to do is Java the class path, the class path. Now in the class path you have to set two values. Okay, set class path equal to, okay, you have to give the destination folder wherever your Java is there, and there is a rt.jar file which is present in the lib folder. Lib is your library. Now when we will start doing our Java programs, there we will be using many inbuilt functions whose definition is already been defined somewhere. Those are library functions. Okay, and there is a jar file which gets created of all the library functions whichever we are going to use. So you have to set that library functions path also. Okay, so what it is, you have to go in Java, there you will have this JRE folder, there you go to lib, and there you go till rt.jar. I'll just show you. You go to Java, there we have this JRE folder, then lib is nothing but library. Okay, then in the library folder you are having rt.jar file. Okay, this is a, you can see, executable jar file. So you have to just go to lib, again click on this, copy it, and then you have to set the class path also. I'll just create a new one, class path. This is lib/rt.jar, and then a semicolon, and then the path of our JDK. Okay, so this is our JDK path. So put a semicolon and then the JDK and click on OK. So in this way my class path is set. If you click on edit, you can see the rt.jar file, till there the path is mentioned, as well as your JDK. So this has been set, your Java underscore home is set, and the path is set. Okay, now this is nothing but the environment variables. You can see environment variables for user. Now this is my username. Okay, when I log in this machine, this is my username. Okay, at times it might happen that the environment variables for that particular username which you are setting doesn't work. Okay, so on a safer side, the same variables I have set over here in the system variable section. Okay, the same thing you have to do. Okay, you have to go in new, okay, set the path, okay, put the value. Now over here in the system variables, if you go for path, there are already many values which have been set over there in path. Okay, if you go in the beginning, you will be seeing there are many values set. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to keep it as it is. You don't have to alter this. Only the path value, we know what is the value of the path. Path is nothing but till the bin folder. Okay, so what you have to do is nothing but you have to put a semicolon and then just paste that path over here and OK. Don't alter any value which is present in the variable value section. Just a semicolon and then the value. Okay, so this is only the change. Over here when we created a new path, there was no value, but over here in system variable there is some value assigned over there to the path. Okay, then you have path set over here, and then the Java underscore home. Okay, this value has been set. Okay, so no need of mentioning the class path. We just put Java underscore home and the path. Once you do this, click on OK and apply, and then click on OK. So in this way your environment variables are set. Okay, now here I don't need any software like BlueJ for me to execute my Java programs. I will simply use my notepad and I will start typing my Java programs over here. Okay, so first let's move ahead and see what is the structure of a Java program. Okay, so in this, the system variables also, you have to set the path and the Java underscore home. Now this is a structure of a Java program. Now every Java program comprises of set of keywords, a set of identifiers, set of constants, okay, so a set of variables, literals. So there are many things which come under, which you can see in a Java program. Okay, now every Java program is having a class name. Okay, so class is over here is a keyword. Okay, and the class name, okay, the class name is over here, is also the identifier. Okay, now this is a very important line. Through wherever this line is encountered, from there your Java program will start executing. Okay, now this line is having many keywords in it: public, static, void, main. Okay, now the public is nothing but an access specifier. Okay, when we will learn, we'll just go in detail about this. I'll let you know which are the access specifiers. There are 4 access specifiers: default, public, protected and private. Okay, now for basically this is nothing but a function name. Okay, what is a function? A function is nothing but a block of code where you write many steps, or those steps get executed in the block of code. Now you can see open parenthesis and close. So this is a block. So main is a function, okay, in which whatever you write over here in this section will get executed. So main over here is the name of a function. Public is an access specifier. Okay, static is again a keyword over here, and void is nothing but a keyword which is mentioned for a return type. Okay, now if a function is not returning any value, then we mention it as void. So it is mandatory for us to mention the return type in Java. Okay, so main is just a simple function. We will write many other functions. So if any of the functions are not returning any value, we have to mention void. Okay, and this particular function main is taking a parameter which is of type string, and it is of type array. Okay, AR over here is nothing but an array. Okay, so as of now we do not know what is array. So just keep in mind that it is public, static, void, main, string and AR. AR is nothing but the name of the array, and opening and closing brackets. Okay, so we will just see. I will write class, say demo1, public, static, void, main, string, AR. Okay, now this is a class. Now for every Java program, whichever file you are creating, you have to save it. So you have to save it by the name of that class where you are having public, static, void, main. So in this program, public, static, void, main is present in a class called as demo1. So I will save this program as demo1. Okay, now where are you going to save? Now what you can do is you can create your own folder in any drive whichever you wish. Okay, and in that you can store your Java programs. Now over here I created a folder called as Java, okay, in which there are programs folder. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just remove this program folder from here. So I'm having just in Java. Now by what name will you save? By the name demo1. So I say demo1 dot, and every Java program is having an extension .java. Okay, every Java program is having an extension .java. So I'm going to save it as what? demo1.java. Okay, so we'll just see where it is actually saved. We go to I go to Java, and here it is demo1. So here you can see this is the program which we created, and you can see type of the file is what? The Java file. Okay, so let's move ahead. So we created a sample Java program. Now this is a simple line, system.out.println, which is mentioned in main, and whatever I am mentioning inside these opening and closing brackets, okay, your what is this, inverted commas, that value will get printed on your output screen. Okay, now what is system over here? Now as we know that Java comprises of many library functions. Okay, so all these library functions are present in something called as packages over here. Okay, so this is system is a class, it is an inbuilt class, okay, which is present in a package java.io. Okay, so here we are not taking care of how actually it is getting printed. We are just using the class name dot out dot println. Println is the method of that particular class. Okay, so println is again an inbuilt method, and whatever you put it in this inverted commas, that value will get printed. Okay, so and where? On the output console. So just let's see how it is done. System.out.println, and I say hello world. Okay, now every Java program is we have to end it with a semicolon. Okay, so in every line in the Java program gets ended with a semicolon. Okay, so I have saved it. Now from where will I execute it? Okay, so I am going to use my command prompt. Okay, so this is my command prompt where my Java programs are going to get executed. Okay, so what I will do is I will go in my folder. Where is my folder? In E colon. Okay, once again I will show you. You go in command, type here in search command cmd, press enter, you come over here. Okay, so by default if you want to go to E colon, just my folder is in E colon, so E colon enter, so you go in the drive. Now inside E colon we had a folder called as Java, so cd is nothing but change drive to Java. These are DOS commands. Okay, these are DOS commands which I am writing. So Java cd Java, that is change your directory to Java. So I went into Java. Okay, now I want to execute demo 1. So in my previous class I had mentioned Java C, okay, is an executable. Okay, it's a program which will compile your Java program and convert it into a bytecode if there is no error. Okay, now I say Java C demo1.java. Okay, demo1 is my program name, .java is the extension. So always whenever you compile any Java program, you have to write Java C, the file name dot the extension. Okay, so now it will compile my program. If there are any errors, it will display. Now there are no errors over here. Now we will go back to our folder. Okay, now here you can see dot class file. Okay, now if I try to open it, okay, I'll just try to open this dot class file. It is asking me which tool will you use to see it. So I say notepad. So you can see this particular language is nothing but the bytecode, okay, which we do not understand. Okay, so this demo1 dot class is nothing but your bytecode file which is having an extension dot class. Okay, and what I can do is I don't need the source file. I'll just pick this dot class file, and if I want to execute it on any machine, I will just copy this on some other machine and execute it over there. Okay, so for every Java program, a dot class file gets created, which is nothing but the bytecode of that particular file. Now I have compiled it. Now I'll execute it. Now for executing, you have got Java. Okay, Java is nothing but again a program which will interpret your Java bytecode. Okay, so there I'll just mention the bytecode name. Okay, that is demo1. Okay, so it is Java demo1. So here you can see inside the program we had mentioned hello world. So we are getting hello world on the console. So this is my console on which I am going to get can be able to see the output. Okay, now we will just do some alterations in this. Okay, like instead of public, if I give private, okay, then what will happen? Now whenever you make any change in the program, you have to always save it. So it is Control S, and any change you want to reflect, you have to compile it. That is, here again you have to write java c file name dot java. Okay, so this got compiled, and if I execute it, it is giving me an error. Okay, now what error it is giving? Main method not found in class demo1. Please define the main method as public static void main. Means what? I have to declare this particular program, this particular main as public. Okay, so when I compile it, I don't get any error. Did you see this java c demo1.java? I didn't get any error. But if I try to execute it, it won't find the main method. Okay, the Java interpreter tries to find the main method. It won't find it because we have mentioned it as private. Okay, so private means we are restricting the main method. We are hiding it from the outside environment. So it is saying that you have to make it as public. So I'll again change it, save it, and compile it. Now you can see I'm getting the output. Now what if I, instead of void, I write int? Now this is again a return type. Okay, like the main, if it is not returning any value, we write void. But if the main I wanted to return any value, then I have to mention which data type you have to return. Okay, so integer is a data type, which means it will return a number. Okay, so here I will use the keyword return, and I say 0. So it will return, or say I return 1. A value is getting returned. Okay, so now if I compile it, and now again I execute it. Okay, now it is giving me an error. Okay, main method must return a value of type void in class demo1. Please define the main method as this. So you cannot alter the main method. Okay, you should always mention it as the return type is also void over here. Okay, so these are certain things which you have to keep in mind when you write the Java program. Okay, now main is again a keyword, so I cannot change the definition of or I cannot write main1 or main2 or something like that. Okay, so these things you have to keep in mind. So there is a every keyword whichever is mentioned has got some importance over here. Okay, static is also having an importance, but we will, when we will learn static keyword, then you will be able to understand the importance of the static keyword. But the main has to be declared in this way: public static void main. Okay, now like system.out.println hello world. Okay, I am having the system class is having one more method called as print. Okay, where supposing I say good evening, so print ln stands for new line. Okay, so whatever you are trying to print will get printed on a new line. And if you just use print, okay, now after good evening, if I mention, I'll just copy this and paste, and I say good night, and again I save, again I compile, and so you can see good evening and good night both are coming in one line. So when it is println, what happens is this string gets printed and your cursor goes on a new line. Okay, but with print, the string whatever is mentioned over here gets printed and the cursor remains over there only. So the next statement, again I've used print, so it will print besides it. So there is a difference between println and print. So let's move ahead. With like what Java supports Unicode. Okay, Now, what is Unicode? Now, basically, one of the features of Java was, if you can recollect, Java is platform independent, and Java is used to create applications which work on distributed systems. Okay, as well as you can use Java for creating web-based applications. Fine. So, Unicode is nothing but a universal character encoding standard. Okay, it defines the way individual characters are represented in text files, web pages, and other types of documents. Okay, now every character, for example, I say character A. Okay, this character A takes a there is an ASCII value associated to the character A. ASCII value is nothing but a number associated to every character which you can see on your keyboard. Okay, and those are numbers which that particular operating system understand. So the ASCII value of A is 65. Okay, then B is 66, C is 67. Okay, and every ASCII character whichever is be like you can see on the keyboard, it occupies some memory. Okay, and it occupies how much? It occupies 1 byte of memory space. Okay, now Unicode was introduced for Java. Okay, why? Because like unlike ASCII, which supports only values from like A to Z, that is the English alphabets it is supporting. If I want to create an application which works on an another operating system, or an another machine which is using an another language like Arabic, okay, or maybe it is using Hindi or Marathi. Okay, so in that, these characters, ASCII characters, won't fit. So I need a bigger value as well as bigger memory space to allocate any type of characters. So Unicode is what? A universal character encoding standard. Okay, that is, it is universal, and all the characters which are available can be stored inside a Unicode character type. Okay, so while ASCII only uses 1 byte to represent each character, Unicode supports up to 4 bytes for each character. Okay, so like ASCII is 2 raised to 8, that is 256 ASCII characters are stored, but Unicode is nothing but 2 raised to 16, that is 65,536 Unicode characters are supported. Okay, so because of Java is can work on distributed applications as well as it can work on web pages, we require characters, we require a way through which you can accommodate all types of characters. It's just not English characters. Okay, so for that we are using Unicode. Now what is a token? Okay, now token is nothing but a smallest element that can be identified by the compiler. Okay, now in this in our program, okay, this program, class is a token, demo1 is a token. Okay, then this hello world is a token. Okay, void is a token. So token is the smallest element which comes in your program and which can be identified by the compiler are tokens. Now there are different types of tokens. Okay, there are different types of tokens. Those are keywords, identifiers, constants, separators, and operators. Okay, so as the name itself says, keywords, these are what? Predefined or reserved words in a programming language. I cannot change the keyword. If it is in capital, it has to be in capital. If it is in small, you have to use it in small. So the definition of every keyword is already predefined. So each keyword is meant to perform a specific function in a program. Since keywords are referred names for a compiler, they can't be used as variable names, because by doing so we are trying to assign a new meaning to the keyword, which is not allowed. Okay, that thing means what? I cannot make use of the keyword for as a variable name. Okay, otherwise the whole definition or the intention of that keyword goes. Okay, so it has to be used the way it is mentioned. Like void is a keyword. Okay, so you cannot write v capital over there. V is always small in void. So these are certain keywords which are used in Java. Okay, abstract, break, catch, do, continue, boolean. Okay, open, super. So as void, as we will learn import, do the programming, we will come across all these keywords. Now, identifiers are used as a general terminology for naming of variables, functions and arrays. Okay. Now, in Java, we will be using, we will be writing programs where we will do say some mathematical operations, or we are say finding the area of a square. So for all these things, we will be using variables. Okay. So variables are nothing but identifiers. That is, variables will help you to store some data in it. Okay. So these are the different types of variables. Like, variables can be declared in any way. Okay, it can be an alphanumeric value like how it is a b c d 1 2 3 4, or you can have any combination of variables, and all these variables are used to store some data in it. Okay. Now, constants or literals. Okay, constants are also like normal variables, but the only difference is their value cannot be modified by the program once they are defined. Constant refers to fixed values. They are also called literals. Constants may belong to any data type. Okay, now for example, we will just see an example of a variable. Okay, now in Java there are different data types. Okay, when we'll do the data types, I'll tell you what are the data types. Like, there are integer, float, then long, boolean, okay, string, char. These are all the data types. When we'll do the data types section, in that I will in detail I'll tell you all these data types. Now see, I don't want this particular line to be executed in my program, so I want to comment. Okay, commenting is what, that line won't get compiled. So in Java, if you want to put comments, you can just put these two slashes, forward slashes. That thing means that line gets commented, it won't get executed. Now supposing I say integer a is equal to 10. Integer a is a variable name having value 10, and the data type of a is integer. That thing means what, I am allowed to store a number in this variable a. I cannot store a character in this variable a, because a is of type integer. So depending on the data type, you have to store the value. So this is integer, so I'm storing say 100. Now I say hello world, or if I want to print the value of a, so I say system.out.println. Oh, just give me 2 minutes. Okay, fine. So this variable a, I'm going to store 100, and if I want to print the value of a, so I say system dot out dot println a. Okay, so now I'll save it. If you want to clear the screen, there is a DOS command, cls, clear screen. So the previous output will get cleared, the whole screen gets cleared. Okay, so that you can start afresh. Now I'll say Java demo 1. So you can see 100 gets printed. Now I can change the value of this. Say I say a is equal to a plus 10, and again I'll just copy this and I print the value of a, and again I compile it. So you can see 110 means what, this is a normal variable, and I'm able to change the value of this. But in what is in constants, you cannot change the value. Once the value is declared and once you assign it some value, you are not allowed to change. Okay, so constants are like normal variables, but their values cannot be modified by the program. And how to declare a variable as constant? With the help of the keyword final. So it is final, data type, and then the variable name. So if in this program I write final float pi equal to 3.14, okay, just remove all these things. And now I print the value of pi. Okay, there is a syntax error. What it is saying, incompatible types, possible loosey conversion from double to float. Okay, let me see the, here I have not mentioned f. When you are storing the value of a float in a variable which is of type float, you have to mention f after the value. Okay, so here I had not mentioned f, I was getting an error. Okay, so now we will compile this, compiled, and now execute. So you can see 3.14. Now suppose I try to make a change, pi 4.56. Okay, now it is saying, okay, first I'll make it as f. I'm forgetting to put an f. So I'll get an error. So what it is saying, cannot assign a value to a final variable pi. So I'm not allowed to change the value once it has been assigned. So those are nothing but the constants, okay, whose values cannot be changed. Now in Java we are having certain special symbols which are used as separators, like the square bracket, parenthesis, the braces, the comma, semicolon, asterisk, assignment operators. Okay, so every special symbols has got certain um, definition for it. Like this brackets are used when we use an array. Okay, so the opening and closing brackets are used as an array. So in our program we are already having this. See, here you can see this is nothing but AR is nothing but an array which is of type string. Okay, so brackets are used for declaring arrays. Parentheses are used to indicate function calls and function parameters. Main is a function, okay, and parenthesis is nothing but these are the parameters which I am going to pass to the function main. Okay, braces are nothing but these are block of code. Here you can see opening and closing. So this is a block of code. So my main, always my class will open and the class is getting closed. My main is opening over here and the main is getting closed. If you don't close it, then also you will get an error. Okay, so you have to see to it that the class, once it is opened, it has to be closed, and the main function also, once it is open, it has to be closed. And then you are having comma, okay, then a semicolon. Here you can see every statement is ending with a semicolon in Java. Okay, an assignment operator and an asterisk. So once we will start the programming, we will go through all these things, or maybe we'll encounter these separators whichever we are using. Now Java is supporting different types of operators. Okay, that is arithmetic operators where plus, minus, multiplication, division, and mod is there. Unary operators are there. Okay, assignment, relational operators, logical operators, ternary, and bitwise operators. Now I'm going to have a separate session for operators where all these operators I'll be explaining you in detail and how these operators are going to work. So these are the bitwise operators, that is bitwise AND, OR, XOR. So in my next class I'll be having a session on operators and data types. So I want you to try to install Java and try to set the environment variables, and with the help of your notepad try to write a simple Java program, just a system.out.println, and for compiling you have to use Java C, the program name .java, and for executing your programs, now the error is there in that, so it is not actually. So for compiling we will see Java C demo1.java, and for executing Java demo1. Okay. If you have any queries in setting up the environment variables or the system variables, kindly get back to me. Thank you.